Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Abby Hagyard. It is so good to be here on the other side of 300 episodes. This is 301. Can you believe it? I'm just going to type this in to welcome everybody. Here we go. And all right. This is so exciting. I know I get excited a lot, but if you're going to put in a lot of work because you have a goal in mind and you suddenly realize that you're at it and you're now actually on the other side heading to the next one, oh, I think it deserves a toast to us, a toast to all of us. So there's two things I want to talk about today, and they are all about this annoying thing people say to us that they're really hoping we'll go the extra mile. And when someone says to me, I'm really hoping you'll go the extra mile, my reply often is, what do you think I've been doing? How do you do? I don't believe we've met. So the conversation about this today, given that it's fall and we're beginning to feel, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, we're beginning to feel that shift in, wait a minute, I have a feeling summer really is leaving. Temporarily, we hope it'll be back. In other areas, it's kind of your leaves don't turn colors. Good morning, Charles. Well, how nice to see you. That's a beautiful cedar chest that you bought. Congratulations. I think what we don't realize when we get very busy is that the changes of the seasons really do impact us, because there's a whole part of us that's ancient. Oh yes. If you can you hear this voice? It's not that I'm hearing voices. They're testing the fire alarm system in the building, and they did it all day yesterday, and they're going to do it all day today, on and off. And it's this disembodied voice saying, testing, channel something, 121. But it's a little alarming when you were focused on something else. So if you hear it, it's okay. It's the normal thing they're doing. So because the seasons are changing around us every few months, our bodies react to that, even if we don't think about it. It's sweater weather. But if we don't think about, now I have to close the cottage, and now I have to this, and now I have to that, what we're not paying attention to is, good morning, Freddie. Oh, how nice to see you. It is more important to us to understand that there are a lot of other things that impact how we feel, what we feel we need to be doing, as opposed to what we are doing. And a lot of this is seasonal. Excuse me. A lot of this is directed by the primal brain, the old brain saying, winter's coming, we got to start gathering acorns. Winter's coming, summer's coming, spring's coming. We got to make sure we've got salt for the roads and the shovel is nearby. We don't pay attention to the underlying older messages that we're getting. And one of the older messages, that is part of this go the extra mile is that there are times when the tide is turning, the wind is shifting, gotta go. That is not the time to dally on the dock and say, oh, we just had such a good time and give my love to Aunt Edna. Not the time. Get in the boat. And by the way, we have to crest the breaking wave. So now would be row, damn it, row, until we get out of the fjord into the ocean where the wind can help and fill the sails. So there are times to play, and there are times to not play. And there are times when there is a sudden surge. When you watch surfers are such a great analogy for so much of this. Surfers get out there and they're sitting on their boards and they can feel the shifting in the energy. They can feel the waves. They can feel something's coming. And when they can see it, when they can sense it, they start paddling. They start paddling before the wave is there. Why? Because they have to have a momentum that matches the wave, or the wave will roll under them and leave them behind. If you're going to run in a relay race, if you ever watch relay runners, if you've ever done that when you were in school, you start running so that you can be stride for stride, speed for speed, when the runner coming up to you is handing you the baton. So there's no lag. So there's no, oh, wait, oops, dropped it. Gosh, is my lipstick on straight? No, we're moving, we're shifting gears, we're handing it off, we're picking it up, and we're going. This is the normal ebb and flow of everything. And you know, when you look at the clock and realize you thought you had 15 minutes before you have to be out the door to catch the bus, and it's 5, and you still have at least 11 minutes worth of stuff to do, you don't say, gosh, which one will I pick first? Oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. No, you amp it up. You ramp it up. We all know it. We all do it. We all do it for us because it's a survival instinct. And survival isn't a team sport. Survival is a me. It's a me against. It's a me leveraging that. It's lovely if we can do it together, but innately, it's a solo performance. We can be parallel. We can be leveraging each other, essentially solo though. We don't survive for other people. We don't do their surviving for them. They got to do their got to do. We got to do ours. So when we were on our own and we were getting ready to head out into the world, whether we were getting ready to go to first grade or middle school or high school or college or a job or a date, we were going the extra mile, either reluctantly in reverse or full steam ahead. Why? Because instinctively, deep down, we know that in order to get into stride, to get speed for speed, we have to amp up and ramp up our speed to be in sync with what's coming, to be in sync so that when it's come, we're part of it and we are now leveraging it and using it to pull us and drive us forward. It is not heavy lifting. It is just simply getting ourselves in step. You know, when the dance music changes and we were doing this, and all of a sudden it goes from Thunderstruck to the Blue Danube, different moves. So when we are here at a turning point, we are here at a change in the wind. We're seeing not only the leaves changing color up here, which is, by the way, right, Charles, magnificent. But shortly after that, we begin to feel them crunching beneath our feet when they fall off the trees and it's cold and they dry and we're walking and we're scrunching through the leaves on the ground. We definitely know that the seasons are changing. So when yes, right, 2 a.m. for the testing. Fortunately, yes, they're not testing in the middle of the night. You're right. So what is going on now for a lot of people? Surviving the game. Yeah, absolutely. Changing the game, surviving and changing it. You know, as long as we're in step, we have a chance of getting ahead of the curve. We have a really good chance of owning the curve, of taking the curve the way we want to take the curve. Working the curve, as opposed to, oh my God, hairpin turn. So in this transition period in life, it's also echoed in careers, in jobs, in companies, in journeys, because it's an echo of us. It's an echo of the original survival. When I posted my little announcement this morning, I said, you know, We all resent it when somebody says, I hope we can count on you to go the extra mile. Okay. And we all know it. We all hated that. We all thought it was insulting. We all felt that it was an assumption that we were skater kids and we were just going to slack it on through, right? So the day comes when all of a sudden it's our boat. All of a sudden we own the boat. All of a sudden we're really keen to get where we want to go. All of a sudden we have had to bring aboard a team, brilliant people. Well, good morning, Mike Ragenwald. All of a sudden we have had to, because there's a lot of seats on the boat and every seat has an oar, and we can't we can't jump from seat to seat and steer and look ahead. We can try, but it ain't not gonna work. But it's a great cartoon. So what we must do is we must select people who get it. And we're not always sure that we're doing that well if we've never done it before. We try to ask them questions to help us understand if they are the person we can count on to do it when the going gets tough. And sometimes we fail. Sometimes we get answers that we're not sure, but we say, well, we had that one last seat to fill, so what the heck? Let's see how it goes. And they turn out not to be invested. They turn out to be on a different path. They turn out to have a different priority than getting where we are going. And they also have a different schedule. They also have a different rhythm and pace. What is it? Mike, there's an expression about musicians that they live on 4/4 time. Is that what it is? They live on 4/4 time, or they are on 4/4 time, right? And so sometimes we find we've got a musician in the rowing seat. It's like, and what we really wanted was a little more. So how do we correct that? And this is the conversation today. We hope you're really going to go the extra mile for us here. And we are annoyed because we didn't like it the last time we heard it. We don't like it now, and we're not going to look forward to the next time we hear it, because if we were there, losing too many golf balls. So what we should remember, must remember, can remember, is that everyone is in the boat for their reason first. We resent the fact that we had to sit down and do an interview to get more rowers, because we would like to be able to do it ourselves, but the boat is bigger than one of us can handle by ourselves. We hope they're excited by the opportunity, and then we forget that the size of their opportunity is not the size of our opportunity. And the reason why is because it's not their boat. Our opportunity is always bigger if it's our boat. We need the people to get our boat where we want to go. Those people don't need to get our boat where we want it to go. Those people need a job. Those people look at the jobs and say, I'm good at that, I'm good at that, and I like the idea of that because I can see the benefits for me. That's what's really going on. It's all back to the what's in it for me today. It's all about having that freshly brewed cup of Whiffum tea. And we must do our best to remember that. When someone says, we like people to go the extra mile. And so my question today is, and where is this extra mile going? Exactly where is this extra mile? If the miles are all the miles, what is the extra mile? Is that like icing on top of cake? In which case, if I'm eating the cake, am I not eating the icing? I don't understand the metaphor, go the extra mile, unless I suddenly see that what they mean is they're hoping we'll do it for us and for them at the same time. They're hoping they can count on us to care about their boat, their whiffin, as much as they do. And the tragedy is, of course, that never happens. If you suddenly realize that there's an employee in your company who cares about the outcome of the company as much as you do, that employee is going to take over your job. Start counting. Start building a different boat. And either you get in it or put them in it. What is so important is the extra mile is what we are preparing to do to build our legacy. The miles that we go, that we signed on for, get us from here to there every day. The bus route stops 6 places and I get off at the same spot every day. Those are the miles. The extra mile is the story that our great-grandchildren tell about us one day. And then you know what they did? You know what they did that is what we are now today? They did this. They went the extra mile. They went over the mountain to come down the other side. That's what they did, say our great-grandchildren when they're talking about us and the decisions we make today. So I was reading Seth Godin this morning, and he said really it's all about the size of the circle you want. It's all about that. If you're happy just in your little circle, doing your thing, showing up, taking your day, doing your best, going home, that's perfectly great. It's wonderful. It's exciting. It's magnificent. If you're planning on a legacy, if you're planning on something that goes on beyond, that paves the way for all those coming days, those are the extra miles. Those are the little bits more that we put in every day, but we're doing it for us. We're doing it for our legacy. We're not doing it for theirs. We're not doing it for the speech we get when they hand us the gold watch at the end of 30 years. No one ever has. No one ever has. We're always doing it for us. And as soon as the boss realizes that, as soon as they get that, and I mean they really get it, the conversation changes. The conversation becomes something totally different. The conversation is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how awesome does it matter today? How awesome ranks today? How, all right, attaboy, is valued by you today? Just today. I have a side story to tell you. I'm working on, it's very exciting. I'm not working on it alone. I'm working on the foundation, on the level basement carrying underpinnings, the undercarriage. I'm working on the, what do you call it? What do you call it under the car? The drivetrain. I'm working on everything that makes my dream go. And it began this pause this to go back and do this. It began on the 9th of October. What's today? It's the 29th. Wow. Not even 3 weeks. Not even 3 weeks. Amazing. Began on the 9th of October when I had an idea. And the idea is based on how can I reach the most people who are ready, willing, and excited to do a reset in their lives, to say, that was yesterday, this is now, let's do it. When they've gone through, it's not that bad, and they've had their, yes, it is. My question to myself was, how am I going to reach enough people? Yes, exactly, Freddie. Choosing the right person for the job, for the moment. You're absolutely right. My question was, how am I going to reach these people? What am I going to do? And then I had this blinding flash. Bing. I said to myself, I belong to a couple of groups. I'm going to reach out and talk to the founders of those groups. And I'm going to ask them if they want to do a little dance with me and see what happens. So I reached out to a couple, and oddly, although maybe not oddly, I reached out to and heard back from one of the admins on one of the two groups. And I said, you got a minute? And he said, I do. I just chauffeured my family out of Florida up to North Carolina, and I'm just back in Florida to ride out Hurricane Milton because I've got a great storm shelter. The house is protected. The thing is, we have too many animals, and there was no way that I could get them out, and I'm certainly not abandoning them. And this wasn't a guy who won't leave the house without his cat. They have a bunch of animals. And I said, and the animals, he said, oh yeah, they're all good. But I don't know how long the storm's going to last, and I could be up there or I could be here, so I'm here. He said, so I'm not going clubbing tonight. We can chat. So we had a conversation. And about 5 minutes into the conversation, he said, okay, A, yes. B, yes. C, what do we do now? What's next? Where do we start? And I said, okay, let's pursue this. So from a standing start in just the very preliminary what if conversation with a complete stranger, never met. He's an admin on a group. All of a sudden, we are getting ready to pre-launch this really, really cool concept that has got a turbocharged nitro pack underneath it. And when we go click, it's going to go boom. It's so exciting. Hang on. About 1.5 days into it, long conversations, and then this, and what about that, and how do we both realize that this is going to require a team. And I have amazing teamers who get involved with me on projects, but it's essentially a mercenary situation. I call all my favorite hitmen and women, and I say, we got another one. You ready? Yeah. When? Yep. Where? How? What do we do? And I tell them, they say, I'm in, count me in. And then we all gather together and we all have our laughs about the last time that was good, bad, and oh my God, who saw that coming? And then we get started. And we take all the best prisoners. We have the best time. And so I started calling them again. And then I realized that wasn't enough people. And so I started calling more of my favorite people of all time. And everybody has said, oh my God, this could really work, couldn't it? And I'm saying, you know what? I think so. So I can't tell you too much yet because I can't really, really, really tease it. The point is this: every person I reached out to, that I asked, wakes up going the extra mile. There is no cajoling required. These are my lifelong mad berserkers who are always already in the boat, are always already keen. Where to, when, how. They know why. and they know who. What is going to happen when we do this right, because the conversation has been, we have to inch everything forward so that we're not off kilter, off balance. We have to inch everything forward in small steps, incrementally pushing things forward. Yesterday, Dave Keogh and I were working on the small technical, I don't know if I want to, that the new website was presenting us with. He's over where he is, I'm over where I am, and we're either on the phone or we're texting each other. And then he pushes a button and suddenly it goes, nah, and I'm going, no, 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 no. And he's going, sorry, sorry, sorry. It was it's like remote control surgery, really. And all of a sudden, it was amazing. All of a sudden, it was, oh, oh. And he said, I'm going to go and sit down now over there. And I said, I am with you and not with you, if you get my meaning. And so he has a day he has to do stuff. I have this day that I'm doing this and a couple of other things. And then we're going to be back at it, because the partner in the launch of this suddenly, out of the clear blue of the western sky, has 3 events happening this weekend. 3, yeah. So we were gearing up for something that is in 3 weeks. And so for it to be ready in 3 weeks means we have to be ready in 2 weeks so that we can make sure, right? So no, it's not 3 weeks. It's this week. Okay. What do we absolutely need for this week? What clear. What do we absolutely need? We need the boat. Okay, we need the boat. Do we need anything in the boat? Yes. All right. So, do we need all the other stuff in the boat? No. So the plan is this in terms of going the extra mile. Pivotry in Motion, which, as you all know by now, is a project that I created, or at least was thrust upon me by the universe or something, some ancient Viking gods saying, here, do this. We want to see what you do with this. It began kind of in the middle of the pandemic. And when I realized that people were not really coping that well. And I knew there were reasons why. And I didn't know them because I'm a genius. I knew them because I'm a military brat. And I've had, as everyone has, I've had challenging days, months, years, decades that have tested me. And so I saw a remarkable opportunity to create a 4-sided experience. So you think of a little box, 4 sides. Top and bottom. Bottom's the boat, right? Top is. So the 4 sides of the experience for people, they can choose any of the 4 sides, or they can choose all of the 4 sides. The box contains the tools and the training to get gooder at being happy, being excited, being confident, being the way we've always been until something hits us, T-bones us, head-on collision, broadside, at which point we fall down and struggle to get up. And sometimes it takes a long time to get up, and the time it takes scares us. And we gradually lose that initial yes. And many of us have lost it to the extent that we're just staying home because we can't. We can't. We're done. We're so done. And I've looked at that and I've said, I have been there. And I know how I recovered. I know how and what I used and did to bring me back to me. And it's not a miracle. And it is customized for every person, absolutely. The principles, however, are the same. So my 4-sided box that people get to choose is, do you want participate in one of my delicious live events, anybody who's been to the live events that I've been doing with the boas and the photographers and the bling, you know exactly how much fun that is. Do you want to be coming to my live events? Do you want to be part of my shows? Do you want to come and say, best time ever, when's the next one? Yeah, good. I got a seat for you. Do you want to come and listen and participate and exchange ideas in something I'm calling TED 2.0? TED Talks are amazing. Innovative people with great ideas come and spread the ideas, and the audience goes away and shares them and spreads them. 2.0 is that we announce the topic. You send us your comments and your questions. We frame our talk around your questions. We do the talk. We get your response. You know that this is partly you. We take a break at intermission. We come back. There's more questions, and it becomes a Q&A, interactive, all day. And it's not just one person talking. We bring along 2 or 3 different points of view. What is the takeaway? It was a sharing experience. It was not me or them talking to you. It was us having a conversation that gives us the insights and the ideas and the jet propulsion to say, hi, yeah, you know what? I never thought of it that way. What if? Those are the talks. So the show is engage you, enable you, empower you, send you on your way. The talks are, what are we learning today? What are we bringing? What are we sharing? What are we building together, right? The third one is rewriting the origin story, rewriting the mission statement, rewriting in our heads why we got in the boat in the first place. You know that thing, people like us, people like us, you know, dear, people like us don't do things like that. Well, okay, people like us back 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago or 5 days ago did things like this. But in the intervening time, there was a hurricane and there was a tornado and there was an invention of some crazy kind. And all of those people like us's, all of those instructions, all of those if then cause effects have to change. When the printing press was invented, calligraphy began to fade away. It was inevitable. As progress, so change. So we talk about that. And whether you have a book you've always meant to write, or you need to rethink your brand strategy, or you just want to sit down and redefine why you are taking on and participating in situations and relationships that no longer, if they ever, served you. That's the origin stories that we together, we edit, we revise, we rewrite. We start with what we had. We remove what no longer works. We put in things that do. That's where my writing and my publishing skills, that's where they serve you. And the fourth one is for the hardcore, I got a thing I need to fix and I can't quite reach it. Will you help me? Either one-on-one or in groups, at events, at retreats. And the answer is yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I can help you. When you're ready, I'm there. So that's the box, the 4-sided box of Pivotry in motion. The concept of Pivotry is that you have to reset the way you think and feel before you can redirect your energy. You got to want it on your terms. It has to be your with them tea, not mine, not theirs. And if you're not ready, that's okay. It's not for you today. So that's what I'm bringing to this crazy platform with the turbocharged vroom vroom engine on it. And the, oh my God, numbers of people and the opportunity for so many people all at once, all of a sudden to say, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, and the way we're going to reach them is just one of those things when you say, well, yeah, why didn't I think of that sooner? So I thought of it on the 9th. I talked to him on the 10th, and then on the 11th, and then on the 12th. And all of a sudden, what happened yesterday was we finished this is our sneak peek. This is our sneak peek at our incredible crazy engine. We have a couple of things to do today and tomorrow and Thursday. And then he's off to 3 events. He's off and he's got this package that he's going to say, so I just want to tell you, I got something to show you. Insider's insight. Let's have a coffee. And people are going to go, blink. Where do I sign? How do I do this? How do I get in on this? And exactly, restructuring our goals to meet what is now, right? Exactly, Freddie. So when someone says, go the extra mile, and my question today is, so where is this extra mile that we're supposed to be going? If it's 10 miles from here to there, what are we talking about? And I think what we're really talking about is how willing we are to take that reset step that Freddie's talking about, that Charles, my gosh, what Charles had to go through, and Kat, my God, what they had to go through. On one level, we keep going. Every day, no matter what, we keep going. This is the hard part of grief that we have to wrap our heads around, that our world as we knew it has been shattered, and yet we keep going. How could we keep going if it was so big and it meant so much and it means so much? Why isn't the entire universe stopping for a moment to respect the size and scope? And the answer is because it doesn't work that way. So what it means is there's a reason we have 2 feet. There's a reason we have 2 hands. There's a reason we have 2 sides of a brain. It's a reason we have 2 eyes and 2 ears. There's a reason that we have left and then right and left and then right. The reason is because, hang on, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, that's a recognition thing. Your whole body going, oh my gosh. It's a belief thing, right? Whoa. What we suddenly realize is the balance and the attachment and the grounding we have to all the things that validate who we are. This grounding we have, this attachment we have, this passion we have to remember and celebrate and honor and carry forward with us the things that we identify with, that make us who we are. This is our extra mile. Every one of us at one point in our lives has had a moment that has stayed with us. We remember a lot of stuff, but there is a moment that stayed with us. This is where fans come from. This is where collectors come from. That first moment you saw your favorite show, that first moment you saw your favorite hero, that first moment you saw that work of art, the first moment you tried on that pair of shoes. and you said, this is mine today. This is me today. This is who I am today and always. Sometimes it's hard for us to let go of bits and pieces of it when they don't serve us. However, when we go to the core, when we stay with our core, when we know what it is that makes us smile when we wake up in the morning, this is our extra mile. This is Pivotry in motion. This is us choosing us. This is our service dog, giving all for those who give all. They go the extra mile for this moment because it is who we are. It is why we're here. Pivotry in motion is designed to give you the, oh, that's right. I completely forgot about that step. My whole four-sided campaign is designed to have you say, oh, I love this. We had so much fun. Let's do that again. If that was fun, I want to try this. Oh, look at that. Wow, I could change that. Oh, I love that. It's all about you is what I'm doing. And now with my race car driver getting behind the wheel, we are building the vehicle to bring it to as many of you as we possibly can. And it's so exciting. So I can't tell you too much more, except the real reason for the launch to be in 3 weeks is because in 3 weeks from today is the week leading up to American Thanksgiving. And we are launching for and before in anticipation of giving thanks and saying, let's do it again. Let's do it for us, for each other, together in the tribe. Not because I'm asking you to go the extra mile. I'm telling you that if you want to go the extra mile, if you already go the extra mile, if you are an extra miler, oh, extra miler. If you are an extra miler, we've got a seat on the boat for you. It's up to you. And I think it's going to be amazing. So to wrap this up, where is this extra mile that they talk about? It's inside. It's not a distance. It's a depth. It's a layered effect. It's how big our heart is, how hungry we are, how ready we are to say, I'm walking here. Are you listening to you? That's the extra mile. We don't have to want it all the time. However, when we're feeling up to it, when we're ready, when we got rid of that cold, and we're saying, all right then, where were we? We now have a vehicle that is ready and waiting to take you and bring you back. So exciting. All right, so between now and Thursday, a little kind of busy over here, a little busy, I'm dancing, phoning people, fixing things. Be good to you. You deserve it. You deserve it. Awake and asleep, going the extra mile, and taking that breath. when it's time that you need to be face down on the kitchen floor because the linoleum tiles are so cool, you've earned it. Take as long as you need. Hug your squishmallow. Have a second slice of something. You've deserved it. You've earned it. You've deserved it. And remember to hug your loved ones. They're awesome. And they deserve it too. Thank you. And I can't wait to share more. I'll see